I was kind of thinking, and like, I don't know how this is gonna sound. Like, I understand relationships are important, but I feel like romantic relationships have been pushed down our throats like way too much. I think I talked about like the Disney princess thing. I really think that that's like very heavy programming. And when you think about like how marriage and stuff used to work in the past, it was like for practical reasons, like resources and I don't know, like political reasons, like that type of thing. And then sometimes like the two people would fall in love like later on, but like they would hardly know each other a lot of the time. Like that type of thing. Like love wasn't like what they were going for. It was more going for like, political reasons and like convenience and, resources and stuff like that. Like practical stuff, and I feel like it's the Disney stuff with all those princesses and all of that, like all those storylines and stuff that like brought on this whole idea of like true love and how you feel and stuff like that. And I think also because it ties into today's society where we don't really need to get married for practical reasons anymore, especially since like, women can work now and stuff like that. Like you don't need to like get married to some dude to like survive necessarily. So it's like so now it's like, oh, like love. It's like maybe that's kind of why they're pushing the love thing because it's like, if you aren't going to get married for practical reasons, how else are you going to sell it to people? But yeah, I just think it's like, I think that it's like too much because it's like when you think about how people go about it now, I feel like people are too much in their feelings with it. And I feel like that's why, now people want to be in relationships and stuff because they want to be validated, and there's no like practicality or anything involved with it. People just kind of want to be validated and they want to feel special to somebody. And traditionally, and they even, was even like a study that came out that said that couples who don't have kids are much less likely to last than couples that do have kids because having kids is like a project that you're both working on together and that kind of, you both have responsibilities towards and that kind of keeps you together. Whereas if you don't have kids together, it's kind of just like codependency. You know what I mean? And like there was a study that was done that said people are much more likely to, you know, like last as a couple if you have kids together because you both need like an objective, because the feelings and all the honeymoon stuff is only going to last you for so long. So you need something that's like going to like glue you together a little bit more type of thing. And I think that that makes sense. Like, I actually do think that that makes sense. I also don't believe that you should be having kids unless you're married. Like, that's also like a personal belief that I have is like, like that's like too chaotic for the kids and stuff like that. But I feel like just like now, like the way that people go about relationships and stuff is very like, and I feel like that's the reason like a lot of people are frustrated because it's like, like I don't like actively try to date or anything like that, and I'm fine. And I just like, and I've been noticing like this dating stuff is pushed down our throats left and right. And I also think like, as I said before, with the like programming with like, Disney Princesses is just like an example of it. But I feel like young girls are very much programmed to have like the true love thing. And like boys didn't grow up like that. So that kind of sets you up for failure, I think, as a woman a little bit because you're like looking for this fantasy that guys are kind of oblivious to, you know? And like we're kind of programmed for that through the media. And it just puts too much emphasis on like how you feel, and it's like relationships should be practical. I really believe that relationships should be practical because if you just feel like you need someone around and that's the whole reason you're doing relationships, that's like codependent. And I really do think that that's why a lot of people don't do well with it. It's like because you're not like addressing your codependency issues. You're looking for someone else to feed the space, to fill the space, because that's what we've been programmed to do by the media, is to look for love and to look for your other half and stuff. Meanwhile, that doesn't really exist. That's just a fantasy. And if you're going to get married and stuff like that, it's like more for practicality than because you need someone to fill a void.